Hi everyone, another new project. I did start the project on my square tube roller and everything was going really well, and then the bearing let go in my 9-inch or 230mm angle grinder. And at the moment, because everything is in lockdown and certain shops are shut, a lot of the bearing shops are shut because they're classed as retail. So I've had to order a bearing from overseas and I'm waiting on that. In the interim, I've actually cleaned up the grinder, semi-restoration, but nothing over the top, just got it looking clean. So that's ready to take a bearing, but what it stopped me doing is it stopped me cutting the last few pieces of steel that I need to cut out here to complete all my pieces. So I've got, as you can see, I've got the pieces for one side there, and over here amongst all this junk there's my grinder. So I've just given it a bit of a thing. I've got some parts here, I've got some parts here, I've got some parts here. I've got cleaned up all my rollers, wire wheeled them all, got all the rust, surface rust off them. So when I can get these two pieces cut out, I'm done. But using my my small DeWalt and using a 1mm blade, I'm just chewing through the blades. And although I don't have that much to go, I've already chewed through enough blades. I've hardly got any left. And I went out and I bought some bigger blades for the 230mm grinder, and it just chews through it like a hot knife through butter. So, you know, I'm going to wait a couple of weeks, wait for the bearing to come in. There's no hurry for this at the moment, but everything's underway, and yeah, I need something to sort of fill the gap in between. So, as I've mentioned in some of the home renovation videos that I've done, I'm planning on building or turning my computer slash recording studio room into a bathroom, and then turning what is currently the main bathroom into an ensuite for the master bedroom. So I needed to go out and buy some stuff, and I had a look on Facebook Marketplace and also eBay, and both those sites turned up results. I picked up this single basin for what will be the main bathroom for $100. The tapware is in immaculate condition. The drain works fine. It's showing a little bit of aging there, but these are only worth $15 anyway. The brand is American Standard. I can't tell you if it's made in America, but I know it's a solid unit. It's got the overflow on it. The only thing I've done is I got some new handles from work, because the handles that were on it were very dated. They looked ugly. They just looked ugly. So I think I've got a couple in here. Yeah, here we go. So there's a small one which was on the drawers. So I've replaced them with these nice chunky ones, more modern looking. This size, they're a 68mm hole center. Extremely hard to get as a dual screw handle, because mostly what Vanity makers put on these days is just a single knob, a single screw knob. They don't actually put a handle on them. So we had only two styles at work that had the 68mm hole centers, and these ones were the better looking out of the two, so I've grabbed these. These ones are actually not, I believe, 96, which are pretty much the standard, but I couldn't go 96 on here because I would have had to have drilled 2 new holes, and I would have been left with 2 holes in the drawers. So I think I gave this a quick clean when I got it home. I haven't really, it's not getting installed yet, and it's going to sit out here for a while. It needs a little of adjustment on the hinge on the doors, but it is also sitting on an uneven floor as well. But it's very, very, very clean inside. Came with the hoses. Now the hinges have got a little bit of rust. I'm going to try and clean these up on the wire wheel. But it's a very clean unit for $100. I can't complain. I believe the basin and the tapware alone would be worth that. You can tell that it's in really good nick, even by the little stickers, the little inserts on the taps. Usually these are all faded out, and they turn creamish colour. But these are like brand new, so I'm very happy with that. $100. Each handle cost me $1 from work, so all I've spent on it is $5. So really good. Okay, this one came off Facebook Marketplace. Now I bought another one off eBay. I bought a double basin, and I had to go a fair distance to get this. I'm not going to tell you where I'm from and where I went to get it, but I took a chance, and I went out and got it, and I didn't, I simply went there, grabbed it, and came home, and that was it. Now, the photos of this that were posted on eBay were, the thing looked absolutely immaculate, and it was advertised as being in excellent condition. So I thought, okay, the guy's, he's got the option there to make a an offer. So I made him an offer. He had $350 on it. I offered him $280. He rejected it. I offered him. He said for $300 you can have it. So I said, yeah, okay, no worries. If it's in excellent condition, I'll take it for $300. So I took the risk to drive out and grab it. And when I was there, I looked at it externally. I didn't open up the doors. I didn't have a look at anything. All I wanted to do was get this thing in the car and get it home, simply because of the COVID restrictions and the fact that I shouldn't have been out in the first place. Okay, but I never left the car until I got out at his place, and then when this was loaded, I got back in the car, and I didn't get out of the car again until I got back to my place. So when I got home, I started to look at things. Turns out that the push-in plugs were so badly corroded and rusted that they wouldn't work. So straight away, that was a throwaway. So at $15 a pop, I'm already up for $30. Now these taps were on bases. Now the bases were so pitted and corroded that I've had to do away with them. I can't find replacements for them. These must be an older style. Even though they look modern, they're an older style of tap. So I'm going to mount them directly to the basin. I don't necessarily need the bases, and to be honest, they actually look more modern being mounted directly to the basin than they do sitting on the bases. So the bases would have been another cost should I have wanted to stick with the bases, and that was going to cost me $57 for the bases. So that was more money I was up for. Now it came with these types of handles. Now they look stainless steel, but they're probably not stainless steel. They probably have a stainless steel coating on them. Now I know the ones that we do or the ones that we sell at work, are not real stainless steel. They have the stainless steel look, they feel like stainless steel, but they're not. These had rust all over them, and I'm thinking, how does stainless steel rust? Unless you've been grinding near it and you've got sparks have hit that, and then overnight, this was stored under his carport, so overnight maybe condensation got to those little flecks of metal that landed on it and then rusted up. So anyway, I polished these up on my wire wheel and they come up fairly good, but then I decided, no, I want the same handles for this cabinet as I put on the single basin cabinet. So that cost me another, whatever it was, $5. I'm lucky that I work for a company that supplies a lot of this stuff. So the handles all up for both basins cost me less than $10. I think it was like $9.87 or something. So absolutely wrapped with that. Now when I opened up the cupboards and I had a look at the hinges again were all rusted. So this is obviously a common problem with hinges, but yet my vanity unit in my bathroom is, my house was built in 82, so it's 38 years old, and there's no rust. I have no rust on my hinges whatsoever. So I don't know why these two units have accumulated rust on the hinges. I've just got no idea. So I'm going to have to try and clean these up. Now somebody here has either at one stage changed the shelving, which to me looks like they might have, because there is some chipping here on the melamine, and here they've cut it way too short. They've butchered the hole. It hasn't been cut with a hole saw. That's on both of them. They're absolutely shocking. These two don't even match. As you can see, there's a massive difference. But then someone's had a crack here, obviously missed the right spot the first time and then had a second shot. Now this is stuff I didn't see, because when the shelf was in, and I, like I said, I didn't open the door, and I should have, but I didn't. I was in more of a panic to get home, and I didn't see this, so now that's something that I got to patch, because I'm actually going to go through the back here and into the wall cavity, so I have no pipes coming through the shelving whatsoever. But I was lucky enough that at work we had some laminate or melamine sheet. It's just some it was just some off cut. Now I've got enough here where I can cut a new shelf out. It's going to have one little tiny hole there, but I'm going to just put a little bit of white paint over it, and I'll get me 2 new shelves for that. I'll work out a way to patch those holes in the bottom. Another thing that was stuffed on the cabinet too was these feet. One of them was so badly rusted in that I had to destroy it to get it out. This is the old one. You can see the rust on the shaft there. Well, I've got a couple of new ones. The thread is not the same. It's a more coarse thread. So what I did is I got some what they call T-nuts. I don't know if you can see them through the bag there. They're T-nuts, they knock in. So I'm going to knock them in. I'm going to flip this upside down later, and I'm going to have a look how this chrome plate is attached to it. It might just be stapled through, and if it is, I'll just pull the staples out and pull out the old thread insert that would obviously be up inside the leg here, and then I'll bash in my new T-nut, put the chrome cover back on, and then I'll be able to put the new legs on. So that was another purchase I had to make, because the legs couldn't be adjusted. So it just kept going on and on and on. There's the new handles for here. So we're going to have matching handles. What else? Okay, yes, when I did get there, the only thing that he said was wrong with the cabinet was that the piece of glass that was in this door was not stuck in anymore. It had come loose. It looks like it's only been put in with some silicon, but a very, very, very light bead of silicon, and it come out. So he handed me the glass, and I put that in the back of the car so it wouldn't get broken. I got it home. I wanted to see what it looked like with the glass in it, so I put the glass in, and it felt like it was secure enough to sit there, and it was. And I came out half an hour later, and I'd forgotten that I put the glass in, and I opened the door up, and the glass fell out, and it smashed. So I've got that sitting over there against the wall in two pieces with a big crack up the corner. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I could get another piece of glass cut, but you know, everything's shut down at the moment. I can't go out to get a piece of glass. But Jesus, we're going back 2 years now, when I was doing the renovation on the caravan. I got a cabinet from work, which didn't end up getting installed in the caravan, and it had some doors on it. And I disposed of the cabinet after I'd chopped it down and made it the size I wanted, thinking that that was going to be great in the caravan. Well, it just turned out it stuck out too far, and it wasn't going to be any good. But I kept the doors because the doors were really good. They were this is sort of the remnants of it, but they were an aluminium frame, like very well constructed, and they had this acrylic in them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the acrylic out and replace the glass that's in those cabinets with this acrylic. Now these weren't cheap. These weren't cheap doors. Our company doesn't. When it comes to making display stock for the showroom, they spend good money on good quality items. So I know that this acrylic is good stuff. So I'm going to replace the glass with the acrylic. I'm sorry for my tapping, that's just a habit. So I've got that to replace it. But basically this entire cabinet has been a complete rebuild. It's been a complete rebuild. All the tracks that were fitted for the sliding drawers that go in the middle here. There's 3 sliding drawers of different sizes, as you can see. The tracks were really bad. All the grease was hardened in them. Like, the whole thing feels sticky. You know, we sell these at work, but we sell the good quality drawer runners, drawer slides. These are really like cheap, made in China crap. But they're actually still operational. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that all the grease has dried out, and when someone was cutting all the holes out in the cabinet to run the pipes, all the sawdust has got stuck. It's got all stuck inside these runners. Like, I've tried to clean them up. You can see a little bit in that groove there, I hope. But it's got stuck to all the ball bearings, and it's clogged it all up, and then years of dust and grime and dirt and everything. So they're just really dirty. They're all in working order though. So I'm going to degrease these, and I'm going to re-grease them with Vaseline. I'm going to just use some Vaseline on them. That's all you need. Just a little smear. You don't need very much. And you could probably even get away with using CRC. Or WD-40 or RP7 or something like that, which wouldn't. It'd be less prone to having dust stick to it because it's a thinner film. It's not all manky. So this drain plug, I salvaged it, but I'm not going to use it. It's in bad condition. It's rusted. It's scratched. But even on release, it still gets stuck. So I'm going to keep that for a garage sink that I'm going to install. I'm putting a new laundry tub and cabinet into my father's place, which I managed to pick up for a really good price off eBay. for him, and I'm going to install that in a couple of weeks' time. And he said I can have his old cabinet, so I'm going to probably install the cabinet just down here in this corner where my welder lives. Well, it sort of lives, because everything's in a mess at the moment. And the reason I want to put it there underneath the air conditioner / heater is because my big water tank that I have out here that my father gave me, that one there, is going to go behind the garage. And that's going to be a water supply for that basin. So, oh, and for other things as well, you know, if I want to water the gardens or whatever, I can run a whole lot of different taps and hoses and things off that one tank for different purposes. And I've got a pump for it too. So there's been lots of little things going on lately, lots of little projects. So I'm always up to doing something. So there's my pump. I hope the light can pick it up. So there's my pump. So we can get proper, you know, pumped water into the into the basin, and that'll be a parts washer. So that'll be another little project somewhere down the track. No hurry for that. So yeah, that's what I've been up to at the moment, guys. Just plodding along, sort of trying to get all the hardware for these two cabinets. The mixer taps, as I was saying before, the bases were absolutely screwed on them. They were so badly pitted, and when you turned them upside down, they were actually green from the calcium deposits and rust. These are fairly good. They're very dusty. They are dusty. There's a little bit of pitting on the handles here, which you sort of could expect because your hands are wet, and you know, but they do work. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but they still have all their etchings on them, so hot and cold. I've taken out the filters already and had a look. There was no debris or anything inside the filters, so they were running clean. I still have to clean the basin up because the actual plunger plug has a plastic ring that sits in there, but somebody decided to go and smear it with silicone first, then put the rubber ring in, then put more silicone on it, and then put the plug in. And the silicone was, I don't know, maybe 5 to 8 mil thick. So I had to cut that all out with a razor blade. But there's a lot of debris still left in here that I haven't cleaned out yet. So we'll get to that. And these legs, they're done in sort of like a mahogany. But I'd like to change the colour of them because I don't think the mahogany is not going to go with the colours I've chosen for my bathroom. So what I'm going to have a go at is on the blind side here on the back, I'm going to rub that down and see what the leg's actually made of. And if I can strip these back, I will probably go with a colour that's going to suit the bathroom. I'll repaint all the legs, I'll redo all the legs, and they should come up nice. So the good thing to come out of this buy, although everything was stuffed on it, was I sent the seller an email, and I said to him, I'm very disappointed because you're in an eBay listing, you're supposed to list any defects or anything that's broken or damaged or anything like that, and you have not listed a single thing. You didn't even mention that the glass in the door was loose until I actually arrived. Here's 10 photographs of all the damage, and for me to replace all these items from hinges to handles to feet to plunger plugs, it's going to cost me $288. And for $650, I could have bought an entire brand new cabinet complete. So the guy actually refunded me the $300 because he didn't want me to leave bad feedback on eBay. And I didn't say to him I was going to leave bad feedback. I just said, listen, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm at a crossroads what to do, because I was waiting for him to see if he would come back with some sort of offer to rectify the problem. He might have said, listen, okay, I'll come and pick up the cabinet. I'll give you your $300 back. I wasn't going to take it there. It was a long drive to begin with, so... but he might have wanted the cabinet back, and then he would have tried to have resold it maybe at $100 or something like that, you know. He would have still made something off it, but he wouldn't have got what he sold it to me for. But no, I think he knew that what I was telling him was the truth. The photos don't lie. It was his cabinet to start with, and yeah, he had no hesitation. Within a day, within 24 hours, the money was back in the bank, and I've scored a twin vanity unit. Like, the basin and the tapware's definitely worth that. I know that the each tap's worth about, well, something of a similar style's worth about $180 each. So I've probably got $360 worth of taps there, even though they're not in mint condition. That's still, you know, if I've got to replace them, that's what it'll cost me. The basin's in great condition. There's no chips out of it. That's got to be worth a few $100s at least. So yeah, I've technically got $300 to spend on it, but I'm not going to spend that. So I think I've come out on top. But yeah, so that's my little project. So this afternoon, I'm just going to get stuck into, I know it's a long video already, I'm going to get stuck into cutting out this acrylic for the doors. I might not install it today, but I'll get it cut out, so then at least I can get the offcuts put back in the shed with all the framework, so I don't have two tables set up in here wasting valuable real estate. I might get the handles screwed onto the drawers, and because besides refitting the tracks, there's nothing else I really need to do to them. They're ready to go. They just need a bit of a wipe down, and that's probably it, guys. Oh, and as I said, I'll probably flip the cabinet upside down and see how all those adjustable feet are held in, and then whatever I need to do to get those new feet in, I'll do that. So stay tuned, and you can see where we get to from what we have now to the finished product. Cheers.